Good day, everyone. The name is Rere from Vectral Academy, and today we'll be demonstrating on GitHub Docs. We'll be learning what GitHub Docs are and how they can expose sensitive credentials on GitHubs. It's useful for when you're running bug bounty programs, or maybe you're just running a security engagement for your organization and you want to find out those exposed credentials or API keys that you don't know are currently exposed on GitHub, especially for companies who store their source codes heavily on GitHub. So, in case you're just hearing about Vectral Academy is designed to teach you how an attacker thinks and how they operate. In the sense that we'll break down the skills, break down the mindset that leads to how an attacker breaks a vulnerable application or finds sensitive information on the internet. So currently we are offering two major masterclasses, which one of them is the offensive intelligence and dark web monitoring masterclass, which is specifically for people who are deep into threat intelligence. We'll teach you how adversaries and threat actors operate on the ground, how you can find them on the dark web, how you can track their work, monitor their movement, and how you can now even extract actionable intelligence from where they occupy. We'll point you to the right tools and working methodology and techniques you can use to access this dark web safely and find useful information. The second masterclass is the web application testing, where we'll dive into API security and vulnerability hunting. We'll teach you the core offensive skill sets you need to find the vulnerability anywhere it lives, from reconnaissance to exploitation, and how you can write a properly documented report that you can pass on to the respective organization. Those vulnerabilities that you see that people get paid thousands of dollars on One bug crowd, we'll teach you how you can find them and how you can make money for yourself as well. So for now, we are currently offering a free 2 weeks program, a bootcamp, which is the Threat Intelligence and OSINT Foundation. It's just an introductory cohort for people who want to explore offensive intelligence. It's a different thing to know how to hack, and it's a different thing to know how to find information. Hackers don't just know how to hack, they also know how to find these informations. Hackers know where to go to find exposed credentials. They know where to go to find servers and um servers or that are currently running legacy versions, or servers that are critical infrastructures and are currently that you can currently authenticate to with no validation whatsoever. Hackers don't just hack, they know where to find this thing. So we'll teach you the blend, we'll teach you how to find this sensitive information, and now you can validate that okay, this thing is actually vulnerable, is actually sensitive, and you can then now report to the respective organization. So you will be covering just three major topics, which is the hosting fundamentals, the docking methodology, which is one of the things we'll be learning shortly in this video, and also why you can track an entity online. How you can investigate an organization and build an intelligence picture around it, how you can use search engines and code repositories to expose sensitive information, and how you can do passive and active intelligence gathering from publicly available sources that you use for your everyday work. So feel free to apply. It's free. Visit Vectral Academy /free training, fill in the form, answer honestly. There's no wrong answer as well, and we'll review your application and get back to you as soon as we we approve you. So it's open worldwide, and it's just a one-time opportunity. Once this free bootcamp is closed, we are not doing any free bootcamp anymore. I believe, at least for now, that we never can say, and it's just for 2 weeks. So let's get to the order for the day. All right, so let's get to what GitHub docs are, the definition, and just a brief explanation of what they are. So, GitHub docs are specialized search queries used to find sensitive data misconfigurations, or expose secrets in public repositories. So we have compiled a list of Github docs that are currently used to find sensitive information. You can find sensitive files from the environmental files to Docker Compose files to credential files. You can use it to find exposed API tokens as well as database credentials, MySQL, MongoDB. You can find cloud service credentials as well, hard-coded passwords, private keys, configuration files, log and backups, and so long, and so much and so forth. So let's get to it. Let me duplicate my tab, and so of course, so we can have a valid proof of concept for this engagement that we're about to do. We will need to be validating that those API keys are valid. So I'll be using a website called secrets.ninja, where it is a website designed to test API key validations while you are pen testing. So it crafts a specific API request to the particular platform that you are testing, and you can use it to say you are testing AWS. You can use it to get the caller identity, get the bucket, get the EC2 instances that are currently hosted on the bucket. You can also use it to test Algolia, test autopilot API keys, test hosting services like DigitalOcean, test even GitHub itself. You can test MongoDB, NVIDIA, Notion, Netlify, PayPal, as much as so many tokens. Whatever platform that uses a token, Secret Ninja helps you test that those exposed API keys are valid, where you can now report to the specific organization and earn your bounty from it. So, without further ado, let's get to how we can use GitHub Dorking to find exposed AWS. Let's start with AWS. So, let me see how AWS is structured. We have AWS key and we have um, secret access key. But on Secret Ninja, it's asking for an access key and a secret key. So we can just do. I know that from experience. I know that most Amazon AWS buckets are hosted on s3.amazonaws.com. So I know that this is the parent host. So all I just need to add is AWS underscore access key with the equals and hit enter. Then I go to my code repository. Mind you, you will search in the code repository and in the commit history, or we'll search for code repository first and see if we're going to find anything. So AWS, nothing. This is there, nothing here, nothing redacted. Okay, let's check the second list, and exactly, this is one exposed one. But not to be happy here, we have to still test if it is valid. So copy the access key to Secret Ninja, which will now craft our specific post requests, get request, sorry. So we don't want to expose too much information just in case if it is valid. Let's just get the caller identity. Let's test the endpoint. And okay. The token is invalid. It's probably expired or redacted already. Okay. Let's see if we'll find some more. Let's see if we'll find something else. Let's see. Nothing. Let's see. Nothing, nothing. Just about the same thing. I don't want to take too much time. I would have added some extra docs like say I want to filter out because most of these are showing me demo your API, maybe just the demo when you just pre-install it and you need to edit all over. So if I want to filter, I'll just copy something like this and go to my GitHub docs and write not in capital letter. So it's telling GitHub that search me everywhere in your repository all codes that have AWS secret key but does not contain this demo text. So, well, let's not waste our time. Let's just go to the commit history and you should see something there. Um, okay, with nothing. Let me take out this and search directly. Okay, now we see things like change environment. We need something that speaks to removing exactly. Remove check for AWS key. Replace AWS key add coded. Let's see if that reviews something interesting. Mind you, this thing I'm doing, I don't really have any authority over it. So please, you need to do it over with good intentions of reporting it to the specific organization. Don't exploit the expose API keys. It's very illegal to do. Exactly. So remove hard coded AWS from server.js. Last commit was 19 days ago. This is more recent than this. So let's see if this is still hard coded. So even though he has taken it out, most of the time they still leave out this. GitHub still exposes it sometimes, but I think this is an example which is not that important. Let's go to this one of AWS and move. Okay, this looks like something test too. So okay, let's not waste our time. We can see that of course we can find exposed API keys from here, but let's move to using um let's test for open AI. So just the same way, I'll just come here and do let's search with the code repository first and do open AI API key. Right. Right. And yeah, let's search that first. In the code repository, we have about 4 million. That is too much. So let me just do hmm. We'll be seeing a lot of things here. Okay, this is one. So you see these are ones I exposed, but I don't think they'll be valid. But let's try our luck. Let's try our luck. I doubt if they'll be valid. I really doubt. I really doubt. Where is OpenAI? So we just need to pass the SK. Let's just test the account metadata. We can check the organization that owns the API key and also the AI models on it. But we just need to test the account metadata. But I doubt if it's to incorrect API key invalid. So we'll be seeing a lot of okay, this is something else from someone who has OpenAI WhatsApp integrated. This is another expose API key. You can see I'll expose the app, but let's go to commit. Commit will really have what we need. Yeah. So we'll just do remove. Yeah. That should streamline from 230k to 42k. Good. So you can see committed 21 hours ago. So the strenuous thing about it is that many of them will be redacted, of course. I mean, if I was a developer and I know that my API key was exposed, then I remove it. The first thing you should do is redact it. But many developers still just want to just take the blind leap of faith, which is not good. So let's test this endpoint and see if we get any response. Also invalid API key. Okay, okay. Let's see. Let's see. Removable. Let's see if this is something else. You can see how easy these things are being exposed. Please, even if he removes it, is GitHub still keeps a record of what was exposed. So if you don't redact it, if you don't take the chance, if you don't take the action to go and kill those APIs in your server, you risk attackers gaining access. So let's not waste our time. Let me just go to something that would actually give us a proof of concept. I mean, the only thing I need to just do here is just sit down with this, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to find something that is still valid. I'm still going to, but we don't have much time. So let me just go to something that can give us a quick POC, which is the SMTP credentials. SMTP credentials are another thing that really get exposed when developers are building their cPanels. They want to configure SMTP. They want to configure that gateway that sends OTP passwords, or sends OTP code, or who sends password resets, or sends maybe official emails to their customers. A lot of times developers leave this secret hard coded. Sometimes even if they take it off, it still doesn't change anything. So let me just show you, just the same way we'll just change the query method, and we'll search in commit directly and test some would I will test some some SMTP credentials and see. So what I want to do is SMTP and SMTP password. From experience, you know that this is how it is structured. Then you put your equals to and remove hard coded. Yeah, exactly. So we have from the results. We can easily just go to the recently committed. So we'll have something easy to work with, but you may not really find what you're looking for. So let's just go back to the best match and see something that is really more recent. Hmm, remove hard coded. Let me see. Remove hard coded. Let's see. Let's test this. Okay, good. Can you see? This person is using Gmail as their SMTP provider. We can see the SMTP host. We see the SMTP pass user and the SMTP password. They removed it quite alright, but it's already been exposed. So let's test it. So to test the SMTP credentials, we built this SMTP sender, which replicates, which was just built. It's an advanced SMTP sender that sends email using any SMTP configuration. So all you just need to do is the SMTP host. We'll fill up the SMTP host here, port 587, which is already there. Then we'll fill up the exposed email and password. So first, let's copy this, put it there, the password, put it there. Is the person is using SMTP Gmail to send cron risk report, meaning that probably it's something related to cron jobs in the website, automated jobs. So 587 use TLS. Now typically an attacker would, the person's name sounds like his name is Vashni Somrit. So all an attacker needs to do is get a list of emails of people Vashni Somrit does business with, and you know, let's do testing SMTP leakage. So let's just say hello, this is Vashni. I'm stuck. I need urgent help. And of course, I don't want to just do the regular thing here. Then the recipient, let's send it to ourselves and see if we would actually get an email. This is how attackers spoof emails that will look as if it's coming from legitimate websites, phishing emails, and you check the email headers, everything looks legit. It's because an SMTP credential has been exposed somewhere. So we have the SMTP credentials, we hit send. Let's see, it actually sends. So let's check our inbox, Virtual Academy, and see if we get anything exactly coming from Version Summit, in which an attacker actually sent. Version did not send it, we just sent it. This is how you are going to put, I need urgent help, please click this link, and use it to send phishing link that will grab sensitive information. So I can as well scroll through as much of this commit history, and I will see a lot of this one was committed 11 days ago. Let's see if the history will be there. Okay, nothing. He's using resend as his SMTP port, or nothing so far. So this is how Github Doc. This is how effective Github docs are. So far, we've been able to find OpenAI keys. We found AWS secret keys. You can use it to find as database passwords, but I would not be testing anybody's database password live. No, I would not be doing that. So I'll also be leaving the link to the docking list in the video, in the description section, so you can also test it on your engagement, or your test it along your authorized target, emphasis on authorized. And leave if you have any questions, please leave a comment section. I'll be happy to reply and answer your questions. Also, don't forget to register for our OSINT masterclass, where you can learn how to even find more critical information than just API keys and sensitive keys. Learn the full docking methodology, how professionals build an intelligent picture. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.